Are you still lying awake at night even after trying everything? Well, the fact is, sleep gets harder after 40, but there's a reason why and a three-step fix that can finally change it for good. So, who is this for? This is for you if you've had a hard time sleeping for months, years, or even decades and have tried multiple approaches without really getting better. It's if you have trouble falling asleep or you're waking up in the night, and of course, if you don't feel rested in the morning. If you are tired of band aid solutions and are ready to invest in comprehensive testing, then this is definitely for you. And if you want ongoing support and guidance through a personalized protocol based on your specific test results, because that's likely what has been missing so far. And you value your health, you're ready to sleep 7 to 9 hours and live a long, healthy, happy life without needing medication to do that. So I also want to say who this is not for, just so you know if you're in the right place or not. So if you're looking for a quick fix or a magic pill to your sleeping problems, this isn't for you because there really isn't one. I mean, yes, you can take medication and maybe it will work for you, but that's just covering up the symptom. It's not getting to the root of why you aren't actually sleeping. Where the reason why you aren't sleeping is because your body is unhealthy. And so that does take a little bit of time to get your body back in balance so you can sleep normally. But the good news is that then it is a permanent fix and you don't need to depend on medication and deal with the side effects of medication. If you want results without actually doing the work or following recommendations, obviously this isn't for you. If you're satisfied with just managing your sleep issues rather than solving them permanently, if you're not ready to invest in comprehensive testing to find the actual root causes of why you can't sleep. So let's talk about my story for a minute because I was where you were many years ago. So for 2 years, starting in late pregnancy, but it didn't go away after my son was born, after he was sleeping through the night, after I became a pediatric sleep consultant to help parents with their baby sleep. I was awake from 3 to 6 a.m. every night and exhausted and frustrated during the day. I tried all the things and nothing worked. Probably many of the same things you've tried. I tried doing a bedtime routine and not watching screens, even though I watched TV for years before and was fine. I tried no caffeine late in the day, dozens of supplements. So I was actually managing the supplement department of a health food store at this time. So I had access to tons of supplements that promised to help with sleep, and nothing ever worked. I tried meditation, exercising more, exercising less, eliminating certain foods that might be causing an issue. And all I wanted to do was sleep well like I used to. I wanted to not have to have a 2-hour bedtime routine, not take drugs. I wanted to get my life back, be healthy, enjoy time with my family and friends, and have the energy and motivation to help others with their sleep. So I finally uncovered what was keeping me awake using my master's in holistic nutrition, expertise in gut health. I became certified by functional diagnostic nutrition, and that gave me all the answers that I was missing. Once I heard about this functional lab testing for underlying health issues to solve sleep issues, it's like this light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Because I'm doing all the right things and nothing is helping. There's got to be more going on. And so this certification taught me how to run these lab tests, interpret them from an educational standpoint, and then give recommendations based on the results. I found out that I had a parasite, I had hormone imbalance, I had some heavy metals like uranium, and I had too much copper. I had neurotransmitter deficiencies like serotonin and GABA, and all of those things were affecting my sleep. It wasn't just one, it was the combination of those things. I also have since learned so much about life coaching and our mindset as far as sleep and helping manage stress. And now I've worked with hundreds of clients to get to the bottom of their sleep issues so they can sleep well too. Now I sleep 8.5 hours most nights, just like I used to. And I've helped hundreds of clients sleep better too. So I have lots of success stories on my website of my clients who have been kind enough to come and talk about their experience in the program and how they were sleeping and feeling before and how they are sleeping and feeling as a result of working together. So you can find those on my website. And I will talk about a few of these case studies in the presentation today. So I'm not going to go into the harmful effects of not sleeping because I'm sure you already know that. And my goal here is not to scare you. But I think Dr. Matthew Walker, the author of Why You Can't Sleep, sums it up really well when he wrote, "The shorter your sleep, the shorter your life." We know the short-term effects it has on our mood, on our focus, on everything, but it's also affecting our health over time. And what baffles my mind, there were approximately 333 million Americans with insomnia in 2022. So that's almost 73 million people every night are not able to sleep, even though they want to. And I want you to know, if you can't sleep normally and you've tried what seems like everything, you are not broken. Okay? This is fixable. This is what is really going on. Your body's out of balance. And I mean this even if you care about your health. Think about my story. I was a nutritionist. I had a certification in gut health. Like, I have been in the wellness and health space for 20 years, and yet I still developed insomnia. I ate well, I exercised, I again took supplements, I was working in a health food store. This is my passion, and yet my body still got out of balance enough that it affected my sleep. So even if you are healthy, if you can't sleep normally, your body isn't totally healthy. Now, also, your mind, stress, and your nervous system could be sabotaging you as well. So it's usually a combination of a body and mind issue. And again, you haven't failed, especially if you've even gone to other practitioners, alternative practitioners, functional medicine practitioners. It just means that something has been missed so far. It doesn't mean you can't get better. So this is what you think might be causing your sleep issues. Watching TV before bed. I mean, right? We're always told, don't watch TV before bed. That's why we can't sleep. Well, there are millions of people watching TV before bed every night and sleeping just fine. Now, yes, it can affect the quality of your sleep a little bit, but it's not why you have chronic sleep issues. Maybe it's a nutrient deficiency problem. We're not thinking about this way, but it's like we're told to take magnesium or melatonin or CBD. So maybe it's those things are missing. And the truth is, a lot of my clients are deficient in magnesium or they don't have enough melatonin, but that's not the only reason why, right? Or else then those supplements would work. There's more going on than just low magnesium or low melatonin. Maybe it's a racing mind problem. If you're trying to go to sleep and your mind is just racing, or you're waking up and your mind is racing, maybe that's the issue. And maybe your doctor or psychiatrist, psychologist has even told you this. Maybe it's anxiety. But if your mind is racing at night, that can be because it's releasing hormones at night that it shouldn't be, that is making your mind race. It's not because you can't control your mind. Maybe it's a mental problem like stress or anxiety. Has anyone told you, oh, it's your anxiety that's keeping you awake? I actually believe that if you are feeling anxious, especially at night, but anytime, if you're feeling anxious and you can't sleep, there are imbalances in your body that are causing both of those things. It's not necessarily one causing the other. It can become a vicious cycle, right? Where not sleeping leads to anxiety. That anxiety, of course, isn't helping with sleep, but there's something more going on, kind of the umbrella over both of those things. Maybe it's a medical or neurological problem. I have so many clients who have done sleep studies, they've done MRIs, they've done all kinds of things to try to figure this out, and everything comes back normal. So I would say for 99.9% of you, it's not an actual medical problem. It's a health problem, but it's not a medical problem that requires surgery or drugs. Or you have no idea. That's how I was, right? I remembered lying in bed at 3 in the morning, just trying to figure out what I did wrong that day, trying to figure out what was going on. And so if that's where you are, then luckily we can find out why you aren't sleeping and fix it. So none of these things are your fault that you think that it's these causes, right? This is what we've been told. Everything says don't watch screens before bed, take magnesium or melatonin, meditate to calm your mind, deal with anxiety, all of these things. There just isn't a good reason for insomnia that is recognized by our medical system. So let's talk about your options for insomnia so far. So there's, again, what I call the sleep rules or sleep hygiene. No screens before bed, no caffeine after noon, have a relaxing bedtime routine, keep your room cool and dark, right? Those things aren't enough, or else you would not be here watching this. Sleeping pills, as I already mentioned, are a band-aid. They have side effects. They're actually sedating you. So they're masking the symptom of sleep. They aren't addressing, okay, why aren't you able to sleep? There's CBTI, which is great at working on the mental part of not sleeping, but it's usually not enough because there is a physical reason why you aren't sleeping as well. There are imbalances in your body that are affecting your sleep. And we'll talk about what some of those are as I talk about the different case studies. You can go do a sleep study. Most of my clients have done sleep studies, and it might show that they weren't sleeping or that there's mild apnea, but it's not showing why they aren't sleeping. So again, the only solution is from these people is usually CBTI or a drug. Now you can also guess at random supplements, the melatonin, the magnesium, the theanine, all the things. But that, again, is guessing because we don't know what your body actually needs. So what is the answer? It is to find and address the root causes with ongoing support so that we permanently restore balance in your body so that you can continue to sleep well from here on out. So now let's talk about the 3 steps, what I have developed as the sleep detective method. So instead of looking at one thing at a time, which maybe different doctors and practitioners have done, oh, well, let's do blood work, or oh, let's look at hormones, especially for women, or let's look at gut health or adrenal health. That's going to take a very long time to look at each thing individually at a time. My approach is to look at everything at once. This is the fastest way because then we get all the clues right up front. Instead of testing gut health, doing a 3-month protocol for gut health, and then, okay, that didn't help us test for hormones, do a 3-month protocol for hormones, so on and so on. When we get all the clues at the same time, that's going to be so much faster. And everything in the body is connected. So your gut is affecting your hormones, is affecting your neurotransmitters, is affecting everything. So when we only look at one thing at a time, we're ignoring that everything in the body's connected and affecting everything else. So because there's always more than one imbalance affecting your sleep, so like I told you, mine was many different things. It's the same with all my clients. It's never just gut health. Even if you have gut issues, your gut health has affected your hormone balance, has affected your neurotransmitters, has definitely affected your mineral balance. And so again, there are multiple imbalances. So what makes us different is that it's testing instead of guessing. So we're not guessing at random supplements and things that might help. It's addressing both the body and the mind together because I talk a lot about the physiological reasons why you can't sleep, but the mind is usually playing some sort of role as well and provides 6 months of ongoing support. And this again is what is missing from many other practitioners and programs. We're looking at all the possible causes at the same time. And I love my client, Rachel, wrote me this. Knowing what I know now through this experience with you makes me realize how terrible the literature and culture on insomnia is. It blows my mind all the people in your Facebook group who would comment on the crazy stuff they've been doing to try to sleep, such as weighted blankets, psych drugs, cognitive behavioral, psychology studies, pills, and more pills. You hold the easy answer to everyone's sleeping problems, and it's almost criminal that society makes people think all these other tools are the solution to what is simply an out of balance body. She said it so much better than I ever could have. So let's talk about the method. So step one is to investigate. So we are going to find all the root causes in both the body and the mind through comprehensive testing and assessments. And I will explain what this actually looks like. Step two is to customize. So this is where I create a personalized protocol based on your specific imbalances and also in your life. So we all are different, and some changes are going to be easier for some people and harder for other people. And so definitely take into account what's going to work for you individually. And then step three is support. So you have a guide as you implement your plan with ongoing coaching sessions and daily chat messaging available. So you always get your questions answered. So let's talk about step one, the comprehensive sleep and health investigation. So I do different assessments for things like blood sugar. I'm looking at your diet. I'm looking at your habits. I'm assessing to see if there's possible mold toxicity, how your genes are acting up, what is called epigenetics, your nervous system, your mindset, again, getting to the mental part, and more. And then I use lab testing to look at hormone balance, at cortisol, at liver detox. Most of my clients, 99%, need liver support, whether they're drinking alcohol or not. There's another test for gut health, looking at the good bacteria, pathogens that disturb sleep at night, and more. Your neurotransmitters, which are responsible for mood and sleep, and mineral balance, and toxins such as heavy metals, and more. So this gives me the big picture of what's going on in all aspects of your life, right? It's not even just your body, just your gut health. It's like, what are you eating? What are your habits? Where's stress coming from? Looking at what's going on for you in a very holistic way. So before this comprehensive sleep and health investigation, you're lying awake wondering why you can't sleep, right? Testing your blood work, and it's normal. So it must be psychological. That's what many people are told. Maybe you too. Following sleep hygiene that does not help. Going to your general practitioner, functional doctors, naturopaths, and they don't specialize in sleep. And so certain clues are being missed. And after, you know exactly what's causing your sleep issues through comprehensive testing and analysis. So let's talk about my client, John. So before John and I started working together, he had trouble falling asleep and he was waking up in the middle of the night. He was wired but tired at night. This is really common, right? It's like you're exhausted, but your brain just won't shut off. It was taking him 10 hours to get 8 hours of sleep, and he was not waking up rested. He was waking up exhausted. He was getting through the day with what he called brute force. So step one, to investigate. So through the comprehensive testing and assessment, I discovered, first of all, what had been missed so far for him was mold and candida. He had high cortisol at night from the mold and candida, because any kind of pathogen living in the body and the gut is most active at night. And so it's the middle of the night that they are eating and excreting and causing all this inflammation. Then the body releases cortisol to deal with that inflammation, because cortisol is an anti-inflammatory hormone. And then that's going to wake you up with your mind racing, with energy, increase your body temperature so you feel hot. So high cortisol at night is usually why people are having a hard time sleeping. But the question is, why is there high cortisol at night? Where is that coming from? He had depleted sex hormones and neurotransmitters, liver detox issues. So now we knew what to do to we knew what to work on. I knew how to help him because I had this data. So now he's falling asleep easily, going back to sleep quickly when he wakes up in the night. And this was even while he was taking care of his elderly mother-in-law. So he was having to wake up a couple times a night to assist her, and he was able to fall back to sleep afterwards, which was not happening before. So he wrote, "You are a genius and a lifesaver." Sorry, I have to scroll in a little bit here. "I have been sleeping since Sunday. I wake up and I'm still groggy and I fall back to sleep. Not perfect, but way better than I have been used to. It's night and day." So this is a month of us working together. I've tried so many things over the last 25 years. I tried so many tools that didn't work. I've seen maybe 8 to 10 professionals. If it were the placebo, I would have thought myself better with one of those, certainly. I am filled with so much gratitude and appreciation for you and what you have uncovered to help me. And then I also interviewed him for my podcast. He wrote, "Getting through the day went from brute force, cranking through the day, to much more effortless now that I'm sleeping better. Things just flow better now. I'm not having to strong arm my way through the day. It's just fantastic, my outlook on everything." So he was amazing to work with. And again, the investigation showed what had been missed so far. Then step 2 is customize. Sorry, I don't know why that is in the left-hand corner. So the first week you sign up, you get what is called the Sleep Better Jumpstart Plan. So I will give you the 3 action steps you can implement immediately to improve your sleep while we're waiting for the test results. So we don't have to wait to get started on some things. And this plan will help you sleep better right away so you don't have to wait. A lot of my clients start sleeping better, at least half start sleeping better in the first month just from making these simple changes. And whether it helps you right away or not, no matter what, you've already taken some steps so that when your test results come in, we're just ready to start addressing those things right away. Now, you also get a personalized health transformation protocol where we will address all of the root causes of your sleep issues based on the clues from the lab test and the assessment so you know exactly what to do to get better. So this will include nutrition and supplements to really help replenish your body and restore your health. We will lower stress, inflammation, and toxins so that you can sleep peacefully, and develop a deep sleeper mindset so you love sleep again instead of feeling anxious or worried about it. So before this personalized health transformation protocol, you're trying random supplements that don't work, right? Or taking medication that you don't want to be on. You're Googling and researching about sleep all the time. You're following generic advice from the internet about what to do and trying diet changes and biohacks that could actually be making things worse. Sometimes I find out people are over supplementing or taking a supplement at the wrong time of day, or doing things to stress their body even more when it's already stressed. So after you have a personalized protocol designed specifically for, again, your imbalances and your life. So let's talk about my client, Emily. When Emily came to me, she wasn't sleeping at all for 5 to 7 nights in a row, which I can't imagine. She was losing weight. Her memory was getting bad. She has serious brain fog, very low energy and motivation. So step 1, the comprehensive testing uncovered she had extremely high cortisol at night, estrogen dominant. So that is where estrogen is higher than progesterone in women or testosterone in men. So men can have this as well, but it can directly lead to sleep issues. She had liver detox issues. She had a parasite. She had different food sensitivities and blood sugar issues. And definitely a lot of anxiety about sleep, some life stress. And so now we knew why she couldn't sleep, right? Instead of just guessing, you could never guess all of these things. So the testing and the assessments showed exactly what was going on. And then step 2, customize. So based on her specific test results and life, I gave her a jumpstart plan. So we changed where she was sleeping because she was trying to sleep in all these different places. I suggested simple diet swaps to help her balance blood sugar. and schedule adjustments so that she could start sleeping better right away, which she did. And then her personalized protocol, so there were specific supplements to lower cortisol and balance hormones, protocol to get rid of the parasite, to support liver detox, and really worked on thoughts about sleep to reduce anxiety about that and create a more personal time that she had lost since having her daughter. So she had a young daughter and, was missing the freedom she used to have before having a child. So I helped her with that as well so that she could have some time to decompress and lower the stress in her life. So this was a plan specifically designed for her imbalances. It's not just generic advice that you find online. So now Emily falls asleep easily and sleeps all night. And she wrote, right from the start, your program helped me to sleep. When I contacted you, I'd been going 5 to 7 days without sleeping, and my entire body was failing because of it. There seemed to be no hope, no prescription, no cure. I'm constantly referring to others the immediate success I had working with you and how the lab tests legitimately found the imbalances in my body, which were causing my sleep issues, so I was able to keep improving. I'm just so grateful to have started your program and will be able to use what I learned as a stepping stone to continue to keep up my health. Emily actually lives in the same town as I do, and I still see her from time to time. And I worked with her a few years ago, and she's still sleeping well. So I just love it that I get to follow up with her and know that she's still doing well. So now let's talk about step 3, support. So I offer sleep success support, which includes up to 12 private coaching sessions over 6 months. So that's meeting about twice a month to ensure that the plan is successful. And if you have gone to other practitioners, maybe you've gotten a plan. Okay, take all these supplements, change this in your diet, do this, and then there's no follow-up. Many of my clients, this has happened to them, and they just felt overwhelmed and didn't do anything. Or it's like they took things for a couple weeks and nothing helped, and they had to pay extra to get their questions answered, and so they just stopped doing it. So obviously nothing's going to work if you don't follow through. So these coaching sessions really keep you accountable, keep me on top of your case at all times, and so that we can also make adjustments as needed. You also get daily chat messaging, now Monday through Friday, so you get all your questions answered as soon as they come up. There's also Smart Sleeper curriculum, which means there are short trainings. These are around 10 minutes each. I know that we're all busy and tired. They're about rest and resilience. And so my goal here is to give you all the resources so that your sleep improves as quickly as possible. And then we talk about how these apply to you in our sessions. You have access to these as soon as you sign up. So if you're one of those people who likes to dive in and start learning everything, they are available to you right away. If you're too busy for that, which I totally understand, I will point you to different ones as we're working together. So you don't have to do every single training, especially if it might not apply to you. So these include evidence-based habits, essentials, and mindset modules. By essentials, I usually mean diet and blood sugar. And the support is why 95% of our clients who follow our recommendations see significant improvement in their sleep in a few weeks to a few months. I truly believe without this support, it is hard for it to be effective because most people need help implementing, they have questions, they might need a plan B, right? If a certain supplement doesn't agree with you, then they need to recommend something else. So before this support, you're trying to figure it out alone and then giving up when it gets hard, or if you go a week without it working. You feel anxious about sleep and dread bedtime. You don't know what's helping and what isn't. You don't know why you're taking whatever you're taking, probably. You get discouraged and want to quit. And after, you have expert guidance and daily support to ensure that you succeed. You get help managing all the stress in your life so you can sleep peacefully. You get a plan B if plan A doesn't work. You don't freak out if you have an off night of sleep because we're going to be communicating and I'm going to be reminding you Oh, you had a bad night again, but you just had 2 weeks of great sleep, which you haven't had in years. So it's easy to let one bad night really derail you and lead to days and weeks of bad sleep. But if you have me reminding you of all the progress you've made, then one off night, which is going to happen on the journey because the journey is up and down, it's not going to be a big deal. You love sleep and look forward to bedtime again because you know you're going to sleep well. So let's talk about my client, Wes. So when Wes came to me, he was waking up every night around 3 a.m. and not falling back asleep. So he was only sleeping 5 to 6 hours. He was tired, irritable, and discouraged. He slept better on the weekends, which is a clue that it was stress related. And so in the investigation, we found that he had an H. pylori bacterial infection and this imbalance of good to bad gut bacteria in the gut. He had high cortisol at night, like many of my other clients. His serotonin, dopamine, and stress hormones were all depleted. His minerals were depleted. His blood sugar was out of whack too, even though he was very healthy and ate well. So I'll talk more about that in a minute. And of course, he had work stress. So now we knew what to do, right? Or what to work on. So for the customized, based on his specific test results, I gave him a jumpstart plan where we changed the timing of his supplements and exercise. He was waking up really early in the morning to exercise, and he realized that probably wasn't great for his sleep because he was always anticipating that. So we just moved his exercise a little bit later in the morning, and that made a big difference. Then his personal protocol, included eradicating the H. pylori, restoring gut health, taking supplements to balance his cortisol while also addressing, okay, why is cortisol out of balance? Supporting his neurotransmitters, replenishing his minerals, and a very specific blood sugar balancing approach. The support was really what was key for Wes. With the coaching and daily messaging, we pinpointed blood sugar imbalance. And the reason why the support was so crucial for him was because he did not think that blood sugar was an issue for him. And he was having a smoothie every morning for breakfast. And yes, it had protein powder and it had fat and not too much sugar. But 5 months into the program, he was sleeping better, but he wasn't sleeping like he wanted to be. And so we kept coming back to blood sugar imbalance. He didn't want to actually test his blood sugar. For a lot of my clients, I'll recommend testing with a continuous glucose monitor. But he did agree to change what he was eating in the morning for breakfast, and that made all the difference. So he started having a savory breakfast, eggs, bacon, vegetables instead of a smoothie, and he started sleeping through the night. Now, if he didn't have the 6 months of support, at 5 months in, he would have just given up, right? And been like, I've done everything. I've tried everything. But we were able to, because we always knew what was going on with him and what the one thing that hadn't been addressed yet, and encourage him to address that. And that made all the difference. Now, of course, we still helped him reduce stress, especially about work, taught him to relax instead of feeling like he had to be busy all the time, which is just leading to more stress in the body. Ongoing protocol adjustments, so as his gut kind of recovered, and daily support through the implementation challenges. So he wrote, another good news update, 10 nights in a row getting back to sleep after waking between 12:30 and 2:30. I'm 100% certain I haven't had 10 nights of decent rest in a couple of years. And when I had him on my podcast, he said the big thing that made the difference for me was the dietary change. One of my root causes was a blood sugar imbalance. And again, without the support, he would not have known that. So after I went through all of this myself, is that now, as I mentioned, I sleep 8.5 hours, 99% of the time. If I have a bad night, it's just no big deal. And that's what I help my clients with too. I don't need a nap every day anymore. I can stay all late with my husband and friends and not worry if I'm going to sleep or not. I can do strenuous exercise again. So I went through a time in this journey where I got to the point where I couldn't do strenuous exercise. And I live in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, And that's what we do here. We ski tour all day, we go on super long bike rides. And I realized that that probably contributed to the stress in my body and me getting insomnia at age 39. But I got to the point where I couldn't tolerate strenuous exercise at all. And now this is a picture of me last summer where I did a 20-mile trail running race. I say race because my friend and I did not run as fast as we could. We actually walked the entire thing. But I trained for it all summer. I did the race and my sleep was fine and my body was fine. So even if you might need to slow down right now because you aren't sleeping well, it doesn't mean you have to forever. I have the focus and motivation to grow my business and help more people, which is what I'm really passionate about. And I love sleep and appreciate it every single night. I'm sure any of us who have had sleep issues will never take it for granted again when we're sleeping well. So what you want is to know why you can't sleep so you can fix it, right? To go to bed knowing that you'll be able to sleep instead of being anxious and wondering if you'll be able to sleep or not. To fall asleep easily, stay asleep all night, and really most importantly, wake up feeling rested and refreshed. To be refreshed and in a good mood so you aren't irritable with your family and friends. To be motivated, productive, and focused at work so you can actually achieve your goals. I mean, it is not easy to really strive for things and go for your dreams when you're just getting through the day off of not enough sleep. And to have energy to enjoy your hobbies and time with loved ones. This is really the most important part of life, right? Is to enjoy life and feel good and make a difference. So introducing the Complete Sleep Solution program. So this is a 6-month one-on-one program with me or a sleep detective coach that will find the imbalances in your body that are sabotaging your sleep and give you a customized plan to fix them and help with the mental stress and sleep anxiety that are also keeping you awake so that you can sleep well for the rest of your life. This program includes that comprehensive sleep and health investigation, the Sleep Better Jumpstart plan that we will talk about within a week of you signing up, a personalized health transformation protocol once all of your lab results come in, the sleep success support with the 12 sessions and daily chat messaging support for 6 months, the Smart Sleeper curriculum with those trainings, and lifelong sleep and health. The investment in this is $4,000 or 4 monthly payments of $1,000, plus the cost of the lab tests, which you will pay separately to the labs that are just under $1,000. So in 1 week, you'll have your first session and get your Sleep Better Jumpstart plan. In 30 days, we'll have your test results back, so we'll know the imbalances that are keeping you awake, and you'll get your health transformation protocol to fix those imbalances. In 6 months or less, you'll be sleeping well naturally without needing drugs, without needing a super long bedtime, and all of those things that you're having to do now. So before the Complete Sleep Solution program, you're lying awake at night wondering why you can't sleep. You're researching, thinking, talking about sleep all during the day. That's what I was doing. You're just surviving, right? You're getting through each day instead of actually thriving. You're impatient with your family. You cancel plans with friends. You don't want to travel, and you aren't in a great mood most of the time. You're tired, frustrated, and sometimes wonder if you have to live with this forever because nothing's worked so far. And you're worried that your lack of sleep will affect your health as you get older. So after the Complete Sleep Solution program, you know why you can't sleep from the lab testing and assessments. You fall asleep easily, sleep all night, wake up feeling rested with energy for your day. You know what to do to sleep well for the rest of your life. So you're going to learn how to get your body healthy again and how to keep it healthy so that this doesn't happen to you again. You have more patience, are happier, and are thriving and enjoying life. You're productive, focused, and able to achieve your goals. So whether that's at work or outside of work or you're raising kids or whatever it is, It's so much easier to do that when you're rested. You look forward to bedtime and love sleep, just like I do. And you feel healthy and are excited to live a long and healthy life. So there is limited availability. So only 3 spots are available this month and each month, and only take on 3 new clients a month. So, how to get started is you want to book a sleep better consultation. Now, this is a free consultation. We'll talk about how you're sleeping now, how you're feeling now, any other health issues you might be experiencing, which some of my clients, their only symptom is sleep, like me, and others have a lot more things going on. But either way, this is a health restoring program. So it also helps not only with sleep, but with other issues you might have, like anxiety or psoriasis or acne or inability to lose weight, all kinds of things. So, anyway, in this consultation, we'll talk about what you're experiencing now, where you want to be in 6 months, and make sure that you are a good fit for this program. You'll complete a pre call assessment so that I can start to pinpoint what might be out of balance and what I can help you with. And then we'll get to know each other and discover if we're a good fit to work together on this call. So you can schedule it here, and I will link to it as well. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much for joining me here. I would love to work with you and help you finally fix your sleep issues so that you can make the difference you're meant to make in the world. And if you take anything from this, I just want you to know that you are meant to sleep well, and you can sleep well, and you do not have to live with this forever. So I am here for you. Please reach out if you need anything, and I hope to talk to you soon.